Raul Perez here. Welcome to my channel, Groove and Soul Records. In today's video, we're going to be going over the second part of the CAGED system for singer-songwriters. So if you didn't watch the first part, go ahead and watch the first one. It's around 17 or 18 minutes, but I dive into the CAGED system starting off in the key of C. And in this video, I'll be doing a little bit of voiceover on some details to really get into what the CAGED system is all about. And this will segue into the third part of the series, which is the Nashville numbering system. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, check it out. Give it a thumbs up, a like, and a share. I really appreciate it. So let's dive into the CAGED system for singer-songwriters, part 2. Okay, moving on to the next image. What we have here is a chord chart. What is a chord chart? Well, it's basically a way to organize the different keys with their corresponding chords. So if we start on the far left, at the very top you'll see where it says major key. Okay, we'll start in that corner. If we move down vertically, we have the keys in alphabetical order: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Just like your ABCs like in grade school. That's how they've organized it here in this chart. Then you have the minor keys. A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, G minor. So our brains are wired in a way to understand letters alphabetically that way, okay? But for guitar purposes, okay, learning the CAGED system, okay, we start with the key of C in the CAGED system. And you're going to notice going from left to right in blue at the very top, and in the middle you have Roman numerals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now in the major key area of this chart, you're going to notice the 1, 4, and 5 column is highlighted in gray. Okay, so that's to highlight the importance of the 1 chord of any particular key, okay, the 4 chord and the 5 chord. So if you've ever heard of a 3-chord song or a 3-chord rock or 3-chord blues, you know, they're referring to these 3 chords, because you can literally write a song and play hundreds of songs with only these 3 chords. So it's important to learn and memorize the 1, 4, and 5 chords of any given key. But as far as engaging yourself artistically, expressing yourself, we're learning all of the other chords within that key. So it seems daunting as a task, but by breaking it down into the 5 keys for the CAGED system, C, A, G, E, and D, you're actually getting 2 for the price of 1, or 2 birds, 1 stone analogy, because you're also learning the minor key equivalent, and I'll explain how that works right now. So if we go and focus in the major key area on the key of C, and we go over to the 6th degree of that key, we have A minor. So if we go down to where it says minor keys on this key chord chart, the first minor key we see is A minor. And if you notice, the chords in the key of A minor look very familiar to the chords in the key of C. And that's because they're exactly the same chords. Exactly the same chords. So, if we go to the 3rd degree scale in the key of A minor, we have A minor as the first or root chord. Then we have the B dim, which is short for B diminished. And then we have the 3rd degree scale as the chord C major. Then we have, going in order, the 4 and 5 of the key A minor is D minor and E minor. And then we have the 6th degree scale of the key of A minor is an F major. Finally, the 7th degree scale of the key of A minor is a G major. So congratulations. You've now learned the chords within the key of A minor and C minor, because you see, going back to the key of C and going to the 6th degree scale, we notice that, hey, it's the same chords, just in a different order. You see? So you don't really need to learn new chords all over again, because you have all of the major keys in this chart and all of the minor keys as well. So for every key, there's patterns. So there's some hard set rules, which is going to help us. So focusing on the key of C, okay, and we look at the 2nd and 3rd degree scales in the key of C, we have D minor and E minor. And the hard and fast rule is, in a major key, the 2nd and 3rd degree scale will always be minor. The 4th and 5th degree scale of that key will always be major. And the 6th degree scale of every single major key will always be minor. And the 7th degree scale of every major key will always be diminished. And there's an exception to that rule, because you can substitute that diminished chord for a half diminished chord, which I believe is what I did in the first video. I substituted the B diminished chord for a B half diminished chord. But the concept is still the same for that chord. The 7th chord of a key is known as the leading tone, and it leads your ear back to the tonal root of that key. In this case, the chord C major. Now, the 5th degree scale is extremely important in any key, because it also leads our ears back to the root chord. So the 5th degree scale is known as the dominant chord of that key. And you would be hard pressed to find a song that does not contain a 5 chord or a dominant chord. You would be hard pressed to find a song that doesn't contain a 5 chord leading back to a root chord. So much so that another exception to that rule of the 5th degree scale always being major is that you can substitute it for a dominant chord. So it can be, for example, instead of a G major, it would be a G7. Okay, and that's as far as I'll go with the theory of the CAGED system. To keep it simple and relevant, we're focusing in this chart on the major keys C, A, G, E, and D, and their minor key equivalents. So in the key of C, the minor It's also known the parallel minor key is A minor. For the key of A major, the parallel minor key is F sharp minor. So if you're wondering what that hashtag sign or pound sign, what it means, it actually means sharp. Okay, so the 6th degree scale of the key of A is F sharp minor. And in the next image, I'm going to explain to you what sharp means and also what flat means. Okay, but to continue on, we have the key of G in the CAGED system, and the 6th degree scale of the key of G major, its parallel minor key is E minor. For the key of E major, its parallel minor key is C sharp minor. And in the key of D, its parallel minor is B minor. Okay, friends, moving on. What you're looking at here is a formula. So we're going to be doing a little bit of theory. Like anything, it's going to help you to really grasp what the CAGED system is all about, and it's an excellent foundation. At the top, in blue, we have the letters WWH, WWWH. Just like the diagram states, the W stands for a whole step. The H stands for a half step. And then at the bottom, we have the letters T, T, S, T, 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 S. The T stands for a tone, the S stands for semitone. So depending on which of those two is easier for you to remember, they're exactly the same. So a tone is equal to a whole step. I like to use the whole step method, and this is for like a guitar. When you're holding the guitar and you're looking at the neck, you're able to see the frets, of course. So when frets, for example, frets 1 and 2, well, those are side by side, so therefore they're a half step apart. But for example, frets 3 to fret 5, those are a whole step apart, okay, because there's a fret in between them. Okay, so same example, fret 3 to fret 5, those are a whole tone apart. Frets 3 to frets 4, those are a semitone apart. So the formula is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So that is the formula for a major key, every single major key, because they're using that formula to make a major scale. Okay, so you can pause that, you can screenshot that, really grasp that idea, because once you grasp that, everything comes after. Okay, friends, here we are. The next image. So you're thinking, what did I get myself into? I did not sign up for this. Don't worry. This is just as an example. Okay, and what you're looking at, if you've never seen a diagram like this before, all this is a diagram, a very colorful one, representing the guitar fretboard from the open strings on the far left, okay, to fret 12. And that's what the numbers represent at the bottom. So again, on the far left of your screen, from the bottom of the screen going up, those letters represent the notes of the strings of the open strings when a guitar is tuned in standard tuning. Okay, from the bottom to the top, E, A, D, G, B, E. Those are the notes that we tune those strings to. And up to fret 12, you'll notice the exact same notes. E, A, D, G, B, E. And the reason for that is it's the exact same note. The exact same note. You can take your tuner and you can fret one of the open strings and then fret the exact same string at the 12th fret, and the tuner will tell you it's the exact same note because it is. The only difference is it's an octave up in pitch. That's all it is. It's just higher up in pitch. You know, your low E string, boom, is low, and then an octave up, you know, it's higher up in pitch. Okay? So if we take what we just learned in the last image, the formula for the major scale, and we're going to find a C note because we're starting with the key of C in the CAGED system. So we're going to find the first fret, okay, the second string, and if you were to fret that note, it's a C, okay? So using the harmonized major scale that we learned with the chords within a key, you remember we had the 1 or root chord was a C major chord. The second and third degree scales were D minor and E minor. The fourth and fifth degree scales of a major key are always major, so we had F major and G major. The 6th degree scale was A minor, and the 7th degree scale is always a diminished or half diminished. The 6th degree scale, going back to just clarify it, it's always minor. So what does that really mean? So focus on that C note, and we're going to use the whole step method to find and locate the other notes. And you're going to see that they correspond with the chords that you learned in the harmonized chord chart. So whole step up from C, right? We have a fret in between, is a D. Whole step up from D is an E. Okay? You following? If you're using the tone method, so a tone from C, a whole tone from C, up from C, is a D. A whole tone up from D is an E. Okay? A half step or a semitone from E is the fret right next to it, which is F. A whole step or a whole tone up from F is a G. A whole step or whole tone up from G is an A. A whole step or whole tone up from A is a B. And a semitone or half step, which is the fret right next to it, the note right next to it, is a C. So you see, I'm going slow so that, you know, I don't lose you and confuse you. So even though the fretboard looks daunting and we have all of these notes, you're going to notice there's a pattern. So anywhere on the fretboard you find a C note, or any note for that matter, the pattern of notes in a major scale will always be the same. And you'll notice if you look at all the notes on one string, they're all the same. They all go in order. And any particular note, for example, E, will always lead to another E. Okay? So just a little bit of theory for you guys to grasp. Take your time with it to really understand what I'm trying to tell you, which is basically the CAGED system organizes the chords for you. The major scale organizes those chords for you so that you can understand it and you can learn it, and you'll learn to appreciate it and learn to love it. Okay? So let's move on. Okay guys, so here we are, moving on to the next image. So to recap, we've learned how to identify a major scale with the formula, the whole tone or semitone or formula, depending on which one you prefer. We've learned to identify the notes on a fretboard in the key of C. We've learned to harmonize all the chords in a given key. And now what you're looking at are the positions for your hands to fret, so you can practice the major scale on different parts of the neck. And you'll notice a lot of beginners or just people in general who are, they're not looking to expand their ability on guitar, or they're not looking to really expand their creativity as a singer or as a songwriter. But this system here, and what you're looking at, is basically a way for you to work and play on the entire guitar neck, not just, the open chords. Okay, so starting on the top left corner, it says based on C shape. So what that means is that is the major scale based on the C chord shape. Okay, the red dots that you see represent the root of that particular note. So in other words, you can go to any note with this system and it'll allow you to play the major scale. Okay, the black dots represent the other notes, but all it is, if you find that note that's with the corresponding red dot and you play the notes from the bottom of the screen going up, from one red note or one red dot to the other, you're going to be playing, surprise, surprise, the major scale. It all goes back to the major scale, guys. Every single song ever written, ever, is literally based on the major scale or its corresponding parallel minor scale, or the major key and its parallel minor key, because all keys are either going to be 100% either major or minor. You see, and that's what's the beauty of the CAGED system. It's allowing you to learn to play all the songs, not just 3 or 4 of your favorite songs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're looking to expand yourself artistically, creatively, expressively, you're looking to write songs, you're looking to be able to play and accompany singers, you're looking to sing and accompany yourself, this is the way to do it, because you are learning the major scale and its corresponding minor scales. You're learning the major keys and its corresponding minor keys, and every single chord within a key. Okay, so it's just a way to organize everything for you. And by practicing these 5 shapes here, you're going to be able to play the major scale up and down the neck. And that's going to allow you endless possibilities. Okay, so not to go crazy with the theory, guys, that's basically the theory for the CAGED part of the singer-songwriter series. And what you're looking at here are the chord charts for the chords, or for the keys C, A, G, E, and D. So you can pause your screen and screenshot that, so you can have a copy of all of the keys and how to play them, how to finger them, for the corresponding chords within those corresponding keys. Okay, So again, thanks for sticking it out this far, and we're going to move on to the next part, which would be, of course, rhythm, or what, right hand strumming. Okay guys, so what you're looking at here is a simple notation. I would consider it the foundational, the most basic strumming pattern for guitar. Okay, if you ever heard of 4/4 time signature, that is the most popular time signature in Western music. All that means is there's 4 beats to every bar. Okay, so you're seeing the numbers and the and symbols in between them. So you would count with the blue arrows going down. The blue arrows correspond to you strumming down. So if you choose, for example, to be practicing the key of C, you're going to practice your C chord, and you're going to count it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum down, strum down, 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 down. Okay? The ands in between represent the notes, the rhythmic notes in between. So that would be like, if I snap my fingers on the downbeats, it'll sound like this. And 2, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You see? Snapping my fingers on the downbeats. So to practice that strumming, it's the most basic way to practice strumming. It's your down strumming on the downbeats only. Okay guys, and here we are with the final image. Thank you. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it, and I hope that it was helpful. So what we're looking at here, again, you'll see some numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this diagram is using a plus sign instead of the and symbol, but it means the exact same thing. The arrows pointing down tells you to strum down on that beat. The arrows pointing up tell you to strum up on that beat. Okay, so if we count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to notice you're going to be strumming down on beats 1, beats 2, and beats 4. And you're going to be strumming up on the and, okay, and or plus, but we say and, okay, after beat 2, after beat 3, and after beat 4. Okay, so if I snap my fingers like this, that gives us our tempo. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, ending on the 1. I consider this to be the second basic strumming pattern for guitar. I didn't want to go too deep into strumming patterns because I'm going to do a video specifically on right hand strumming pattern with no wild or crazy or difficult theory. Absolutely no left hand chords at all. It's going to be specifically focusing on the right hand for strumming and for rhythm. My background is over 20 years as a drummer before I got into other instruments, and now guitar. Rhythm comes very naturally to me. So my advice to beginners and to just people watching this video series and learning the CAGED system is just don't be afraid to let your right hand strum away. Okay? Don't be afraid to just express yourself rhythmically, because that is what's going to make you unique as an artist. as opposed to me, giving you diagrams and telling you strum up on here, strum down on here. No, no, no. That's the whole idea about rhythm, is that it's so unique to every single individual artist. It's so unique. Like your heartbeat is different than mine. It's unique to you. So make it your own. Make that rhythm your own. I'm showing you the tools of the CAGED system. Take a leap of faith in yourself artistically and explore that rhythm. Explore what the guitar can do, because the CAGED system is exactly that. It's a system that is there to help you. It's a tool, like a hammer or a screwdriver or a pair of scissors. It's just a tool. All the CAGED system is a tool. So once you learn how to use that tool, then you can break free of the CAGED system, and you're literally out of the cage, so to speak. Okay. So that's it. That's it for part 2 of the CAGED system. In the next video, I'll be focusing on the Nashville numbering system. Okay. Which is going to allow you to be able to collaborate with other musicians, other artists. It's going to allow you to be able to write songs quickly, efficiently. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video. Give this video a share, a like. I appreciate it, and see you on the next video. Raul Perez, Groove and Soul Records.